Well, hello my pals and welcome back to A Drill and a Dream. I have a project today that I have been waiting on doing for a week now, probably, and I'm so excited to get going on it. There is a wall right there above the couch that is very, very empty and barren, and so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for it. Now that we have the TV up on this wall, it looks gorgeous. This wall especially is just very, very empty. With one big piece on that wall and like the big mirror, I wanted to do more of a gallery thing over here. So I was looking up, gallery wall inspiration and stuff like that, trying to figure out what to do. And I saw on Etsy this, which they have a million of them, but this one that I particularly liked that you just basically buy. I can show you the picture. It's like a digital download of all of the prints and with all the different sizes and everything that you would need to, and you could just basically copy what they have. And I feel like I'm not to the point in my design knowledge to know how to make a gallery wall that looks nice on my own. Like trying to get it not too busy, but busy enough, and to know which things go well together and what sizes and what shapes and everything. So I bought this download and basically I downloaded it, I sent it off to get printed at Walmart. And I bought a bunch of frames to put it up. But I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this, but I saw it a while ago and I've done it once before. It's this little hack to make painting prints look more like real paintings. So the prints that I got are like vintage prints. I'm sure they're all, what's it called? Public domain. So I'll give you this whole spiel in case you don't know about it. This is what I've learned over the last couple of years with regard to art stuff. So public domain, obviously, maybe not obviously, is after a certain amount of years, you can take anything is for free use. So, because the person who did it has been dead for so long, so they're not going to be making money off of what you get. So all of this art that I'm going to put up is like vintage art. It's from like the 1800s or something. And so you can basically get it, if you can find it on the internet, you can get it for free. But these people on Etsy are basically just doing the work for you and putting it all together. It's hard to find, and to find in quality that you can download it and print it off and it's not going to be really pixely. So yeah, if I did the work, I could have probably found all of these paintings for free, but this person on Etsy did all the work and I just paid like $13 or something to download them. So I did that and then I sent it to the printer. And what we're going to do today is this hack that I learned. And you basically, instead of putting the glass on front of the picture frame, you take the print that obviously was originally a painting, but this is just a photo print of it, and you paint it on with matte Mod Podge. And by doing that, it makes it matte, so it's not shiny at all, so it doesn't look like a photo in that way. And it also adds like texture and adds like brush marks and stuff, so it makes it look like a lot more like a real original painting, even though it's not. So that really classes it up. And so that's what I'm going to do with all of the pictures here. I've done it once before and it really does do a good job, I think. I mean, obviously it's not perfect. And I think depending on how you do it makes a difference too. Like if you follow what the brush strokes of the painting would be, you're not going to fool any real paint enthusiast. But just for hanging up on the wall, it looks a lot better, I think, than just having a printed off painting in a photo frame. So that's a big project for today. But also, okay, so I got all of these frames just from Walmart, like super cheap frames, like as cheap. I think I'm actually going to use this little poster frame. I had gotten a bigger one and I put the pictures in there because I wanted to see what they look like. And I'm so excited. Originally I'd gotten this bigger 16 by 20 that had like a wider frame, and they were both really cheap. They're just like plastic in here, not real glass. But I'm not sure if I'm going to use this wider one or the skinnier edge because I want it to have, I'm going to paint these. So the goal is to paint these gold. I'm a little nervous about it and to see what it's going to look like. But like I said, they were all super cheap frames. But I want like some differentiation with like different size frames. They're all going to be the same color, but I wanted some different sizes and different, like these ones have a little bit of, a design on them, whereas the other ones are more plain. So I don't know, we're going to see how it all goes. I don't really know if this is the best choice. This is obviously the fastest choice, but I don't know if it would be better, hi Clive, to have more of all different frames like if I were to get better frames, like from thrift stores or something, I'm not sure if that would have been a better choice. And because I could still potentially do that, and like as I find frames, switch out the one frame for the new thrift store frame. I'm not sure. I'll see how it looks, and I may do that in the future, but for now, I just want to get something up on the wall because it really looks like such a barren space. So anyway, that is the goal for this video and this weekend, to have some sort of a beautiful gallery art wall up there, and yeah, we'll see how it all goes. Okay, so these were the original frames that I got, but what I was questioning is if I should go with a skinnier frame for these two. Let's take it out. I think I should do the skinnier one. I think it adds a more variation, you know, between the frames. I thought that that one was going to be good for skinny, but yeah, I think I should do that. Okay, so these guys were cheap. I didn't realize how cheap they actually are. They're not even like frames, they're like 4 things on each side. But that should be fine. Maybe, potentially. We'll see how it all pans out. Okay, so I'm not sure how this whole gold thing is going to come out, and I thought that I had like paper plates. Don't. Just using whatever I can find anywhere. So let's take a look. I have 3 different colors of gold. This is antique gold, pure gold, okay, and glam gold. Interesting. That's quite a different color. Okay, so maybe we can try a little bit of this on the back of one of these. Because it's going to look different on black too. Okay. This is probably going to need multiple coats. And I don't know if it should be like 1 coat of this and 1 coat of that, you know. That covers a lot better. Kinda. Okay, so that is the pure gold. And this is the antique gold. Okay, so let's take a look next to this gold mirror. Interesting. Surprisingly, the glam gold looks a little bit more like it. I'm not sure. Very, very interesting. Okay, here's what I think I'm going to do. And this is just totally making something up. I think I'm going to do everything over in antique gold and then put a coat of the glam gold on top to maybe like mute it a little bit. And and we'll see how that goes. It might need even more coats because, like I said, it's pretty thin, but we'll at least start it and do something. Okay, so one coat is on. I'm definitely going to need to do more, but I think it's actually interesting, like especially on these ones that have a little bit more of a groove. I kind of like the look of it. See, it kind of looks like an antique sort of look with the black showing through a little bit. So I might not do as much on these. Like this one looks kind of bad. So I'll probably do like more of a solid gold coat on this and maybe have like more of the antique-y look on those ones, and that will kind of give it the difference like that I was talking about before of having them not be so matchy-matchy. So I don't know, we'll see how it all goes. I kind of like the look of the black peeking through, but I don't like it on this one because this just looks bad. But I don't know, we'll see how much I end up doing for multiple coats, but I'm going to come back to this and do some more coats later, but now I'm going to start working on the actual prints. Okay, so matte Mod Podge, and I'm going to definitely make sure the whole thing gets covered, or else there'll be like little spots that you can see through of the shininess, which we don't want that. But then I'm also going to go through and make sure that there are try to follow the lines a little bit of where the painting actually was done, and even give it a little bit of like heavier parts, you know, that show a little bit more texture. This should be fine. This is going to get covered up. So then that way you can, if you're looking closely, you can see kind of where the paint is a little globby and stuff, and it makes it look a little bit more realistic. First, I'm just going to kind of go through and cover it up. Whoever thought this idea up, it was a very good idea. But I see it a lot on the Pinterest. Maybe it's just because that's what I'm looking up. But if you have never heard of this idea, it's pretty neat. Obviously when you put it on, it has this like milkiness, but it dries clear. kind of just haphazardly make like little circly things and stuff. So in the end, I feel like it's just mostly important that it's all covered and so that there's no shiny spots. And it definitely doesn't look anything too pretty right now. But once it dries, it'll just have that matte sort of painting texture to it. And I think it'll turn out quite nicely. So I will let this dry. I will do the other 4 paintings. Woo. And then probably do another coat on the frames, a coat or 2, and then we will probably reconvene tomorrow, unless it dries today, to put it up on the wall. Okay guys, are you ready to see something beautiful? So here are all the paintings. I think they turned out absolutely beautifully. They actually turned out a lot better than I even expected. So obviously they were on cheapo plastic frames, and that's not great to put paint on. I would not do this on anything that you actually touch. But seeing as it's just going to be on the wall, I think it'll be fine because they're it's still kind of sticky, but I just have a feeling if you were to touch it, it would just rip all the paint right off of it. So it'll be fine for what it is, but I think they actually look really nice. I like how they have black frames underneath and you can kind of see it through a little bit. It gives it a lot more of a like antique sort of look, I think. And I was saying that even if I did, like if I ended up doing the TV frame and if I end up deciding to want to paint it gold, which is what I was always leaning towards, but I'm not sure I don't want too much gold either. But I was thinking if I did that, I think I would paint it black first and then paint gold on top of it instead of just painting it gold, because I think it gives a really interesting finish and it makes it look a lot more like antique-y. I also am really glad that I decided I had bought those big ones and I went back to the store and got these instead, and I'm glad that I did because I think that it needed that small frame, so there was more of a variation, like the really small and then the bigger and then the medium. I think it turned out really nice. However, these are yeah, they're very cheapy. And also, okay, so what I did was I did the Mod Podge on the front of all of them, and then I Mod Podged them each to their little foam backing thing. Now, what I did not do, and I highly recommend if you do this project, make sure you check on the back first and make sure that your things are, so I duct tape this in. I am gonna get some command strips and do it just because these are so flimsy and they're almost a little bit curved. You can see the curve in it, so I'm gonna end up putting command strips, whoopsie, on all 4 corners so it really pushes it back. But I don't have them right here, so for right now I'm just gonna put them up on the wall and then we'll put the command strips on after once we know the placement. But I highly recommend, I think that doing that where I Mod Podge them to the foam backing, not foam, but cardboard backing was a good idea because it makes it more like stuck to it and not no waves in the picture, but just make sure that you put it the right side up for your little hangers. So when you hang it, it's correct, because you can't unstick the picture to the back. And that's what I did, only on one, thankfully, but I realized it before too long. But it's definitely something to consider when you're Mod Podging the picture to the cardboard. So what I did was, I'm guessing the couch that I'm going to get is probably going to be about 84 inches because I know that's a standard size. That would be 7 foot. So what I tried to do is center this guy in where I think the couch will be, leaving like room for a really small side table over here, which is what I'm tentatively hoping to have as a small side table over here. And then maybe a small one. I don't know what I'm going to do. Big picture. But I want the paintings to hopefully not have to move even when we take out this couch and put in a full-size couch. I still want it to be centered over it. So hopefully this is gonna work. So I'm not sure the best way to do this, but I'm going to, this is the one part that I did not like look up or plan, how to hang them up in the correct way. So I might do some quick research on that, and we'll go from there. So there were a lot of things about how to make a gallery wall and how to hang it up. Most of them involved having pieces of paper that were the right size to hang up. Guys, I don't even know where anything is in this house, let alone even just regular sizes of paper, but then I don't have anything bigger than that. So I don't know how that's gonna go. But I feel like the first step is always to get exactly what you're wanting for the placement. Figure that out on the floor. And I feel like that is looking pretty good. Definitely something in this general range. So this is $45 long and 36-ish tall. What did I say, 45, 36? Oh, should be about like that. The couch itself is coming in at 60. So 60 minus 45 is 15, so 7.5 inches from the side of each of these. This one needs to be out here. It's gonna be a little bit lower, over 2.5 inches. Everything is over 2.5 inches. Okay. This frame is so much more secure than that one. Okay, so over to here, up to here, something like that. That worked a lot better. Okay. And then we just have, woo. And then last one. Okay, ta-da. Ooh, see, that's what I mean, a little spot. I can fix that up though. Okay, I think that this one needs to go over a little bit. No, no. And that might mean that the next one needs to go over a little bit too. Maybe smooch this over a little bit. Okay, now let's see. Well, what do we think? Oh, it's so weird to have something up there, honestly. I think it'll actually look better when the couch is longer, because right now I feel like it's all like right here, like one tall thing, but having the couch longer and having this more of a middle of the couch thing, I think it's gonna look even better. Okay, so I've been playing around with it just a little bit, and when I put the command strips up later, I'm gonna make sure that everything is totally straight and whatnot, but I think that it looks really gorgeous. I really super duper love, well, the prints themselves, because I think they're gorgeous. And I feel like the matte Mod Podge on them gives them, you probably can't tell in the camera, but it gives them just like a very, very matte look, which even matte prints are not that matte, but this actually is. And if you look really closely, you can see, well, maybe you guys can't, but I can see little brush strokes, you know, which makes it look just a little bit more original. And it looks really, really nice. So I'm very happy with it, my little vintage art gallery wall. And I think it looks gorgeous with the coloring of the room that we have here. And of course, whatever couch I get will go with this general theme because this is just my general theme of life. And it just looks stunning. Hey guys, so surprise ending. It's been a couple of days since our little DIY, and after living with it for a while, I just couldn't, there was just something about the layout of it that just was not working for me. I love the layout in general, but in my specific space, it just wasn't right because I think because the ceilings are so low and it was just so boxy, something about it being right over the couch. I just wasn't loving it. So I've been playing around with it a little bit and I did move the layout. So I wanted to show you. This is where we're at now. It's a little bit more elongated and not quite so up and down from the couch. So I'm liking it. I can't guarantee that I won't move it even more, but that's where we're at and I think it looks really nice. It just makes it look a little bit less boxy. Pictures are so gorgeous though. I can't quite get over it. I think it looks stunning. So I do have some touch up that I need to do in the paint, but where don't I need to touch up the paint? Literally everywhere needs touch up, and I haven't done it yet, but one of these days I will get to it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little vintage gallery art wall DIY extravaganza, and I hope you will tune in next time to see what's happening here at the house on A Drill and a Dream.